All right, coming to you from the home of everything Frederick, which is 401 North Market Street. It's in downtown Frederick. I'm with my good friend Jason Fraley. How are you? Thank you.
Good. Thanks for having me, Danny.
Welcome to Good Morning Frederick.
Thank you. We live right in very close walking distance.
You do.
And yet this is my first time actually popping in here. So I'm really glad.
It's okay. It's awesome.
It's great.
Your wife, I love very much, met her years ago at the lead singer of Vinyl Rhino, I think is when I first met her. She was working at the hotel.
Yeah.
Down off Buckystown Pike.
Yeah. The amazing Ashley Marie.
Yeah.
Best singer in town. Not only in town, in Maryland, the East Coast, and the entire world.
Right.
I mean that, actually.
I know you do. You're so sweet, and you two are so adorable. I love it. Embarking on a big steps coming up soon.
Yes.
Starting a family, which is so exciting.
Yes.
Yeah. So before all that, I'm gonna just throw all of this on your plate, and we're gonna do
lots to talk about. And we can get into the baby stuff too. That's totally it's fair game now. It's public knowledge.
I've been far out of that now. My kids are in their 20s, so I love it. I love all the new stuff that's available, and wish it was around when my kids were young. But going back to you professionally, first of all, you're not. Here. Yeah, you are from Frederick. Yeah. Born and raised. Yeah. That's really great. Where'd you go to school?
Linganore High School. Liberty Elementary, Newmarket Middle, Linganore High School. Yeah.
Liberty.
Shout out Rick Connor, go Lancers. His first, he's the big coach there.
Yeah.
Won the state title many times. His first year at Linganore as a head coach was my senior year.
Okay.
So he always says, my first cap.
Yeah, that's right.
So I've been rooting for him.
Very good. Yeah. That's fun to have a good alumni like that and a good team. And then what did you go to school for? Where were you?
I went to University of Maryland for journalism.
Okay.
Yeah. And I interned at the Frederick News Post here, my first internship down the street at the old building.
Yeah.
And the Baltimore Sun and USA Today. So I thought I was going to do like the newspaper career,
Okay.
And then got my master's in film at American University and started, ironically, not at a newspaper, at a radio station at WTOP back in 2008. And I was there for 16 years. So I started at WTOP writing the copy on the news desk for those acclaimed broadcasts. They were the #1 station in the country, most popular for a long time.
Very long time.
And then became our weekly movie critic because they found out that I love reviewing movies. And then became their full-time entertainment editor for a long time. And now I've transitioned that into a podcast called Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley.
I love it.
Staying busy.
Yeah, I love it so much. And you have access, you're very blessed in that you've had access to a lot of these very well-known people.
Yeah.
Your podcast has some huge stars. That's pretty wild. Does it freak you out sometimes?
At first I would get nervous but it all started back when I was at TOP. Like it would be red carpet interviews at the Kennedy Center. It's the nation's capital. So they would have Lin-Manuel Miranda getting honored at National Archives or Spielberg or, the biggest names would come and get these big awards. Tony Bennett at the Library of Congress. It was everybody. So yes, at first it was nervous, but then you'd be holding your little microphone on the rope line, red carpet, and when I realized that everyone else was just as nervous and hesitant to ask the question as well, because everybody gets starstruck, no matter how long you've been in a reporter. And so when it sort of clicked one day, I said, "Oh, everyone else is feeling this nervousness, so that's your chance to then." Get in and get the question. So I just come up with creative questions and be like, "Hey, Jerry Seinfeld," and I'd be quoting the show, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's funny," because I go, "Hello, la la la." You quote Seinfeld to Seinfeld, then they're, "Oh, okay."
You're a safe space. Man.
It was nerve-wracking at first. But then, I would actually prefer, rather than those, I call them like drive-by questions on the road. I would prefer when it would be a one-on-one like we're doing now. Usually they do it at a hotel or an event space. But, they would bring in John Travolta or Sting or Greta Gerwig or, Emma Stone, whoever, Barry Jenkins, whoever, Chadwick Boseman. Big people would come do these junkets and, they would cycle you through. They would have the lights set up. So that was better than the red carpet because you'd at least get 15 minutes maybe. But still, we're escalating, but still not exactly what I wanted. What I've really enjoyed, and it was partly due to when the pandemic shut down everything, everyone learned how to use Zoom. So what I've really enjoyed was like the long form virtual. They would either call in on the phone or actually with video, which is great, like as you do for your podcast. But I love that because then it would feel, Carol Burnett would call.
Yeah.
And it would almost be like I'm sitting talking to my grandma on the phone for like an hour. Like, no joke. And you get to go deeper into their whole stories. And that's the idea of like beyond the fame. We get to go deeper beyond just the usual questions. So it'd be Carol Burnett or Bob Newhart or William Friedkin. Like I was going like Aretha Franklin. It'd be like a half hour to an hour with these super like legends. A lot of them aren't even with us anymore. But on WTOP, I wish them well. I hope they're rocking and rolling. But my point is the confines of it's like 40 seconds maybe, whatever air. So because they got to get the traffic, weather, and sports and breaking news and all that. So maybe 40 seconds would air, and then I'd write an article. But most of this treasure trove of audio with these super legends of entertainment, filmmakers, comedians, musicians, it like never saw the light of day. So then when the idea of the podcast came around during the pandemic, I was like, I can go back. I saved all the audio. It's like 15 years worth of audio, 16. And I said, I'm going to make each of these its own podcast episode, So we'd find excuses to bring back the archived content, whether, the band would be coming to town for a new show at Merriweather or Wolf Trap or whatever. So you'd be like, oh, well, hey, Melissa Etheridge is coming to Wolf Trap. We spoke with her 5 years ago. Here's it. And mixing in with new, and I'd say mostly new now. I've got probably 99% of the archived ones the back catalog up now. We're almost at 1,000 episodes from all the WTOP time, plus now all the new interviews. So even since branching out on my own last year, we've had John Legend and Jennifer Hudson and Hank Azaria. Who else? Jesse Eisenberg, Kevin Smith. Some really. Leonard Skinner was the recent one. So I wasn't sure if their PR people would still want to have if it wasn't attached to the FM thing. We're still on WTOP.com, the website, but it's been very reassuring and exciting to see that they still want to come on and talk to me just for my own show.
That's amazing.
Sell my own ads for it. It's its own thing now.
It is its
pretty
own
cool.
thing.
Well, you know better than anyone. You're the best at it.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. But I mean, I think it's really cool that accessibility, technology allows us to do what we're doing and gives you that front.
Remember the big the Oscar envelope gaffe where they read the wrong best picture
that was
a couple years ago? It was La La Land. It was La La Land. They announced it as the winner.
Right.
Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway announced La La Land as the winner because they had the wrong card.
Right.
It said Emma Stone Best Actress, and they didn't know what to do. So they just said La La Land. And it had been sweeping all the awards. But it was actually, then they came out and said, no, it was actually Moonlight, this indie movie. So then Barry Jenkins, everyone comes up. But it was really cool. Those interviews are fresh in my mind and some stand out to me because I interviewed like the composer and the actors and the directors, Damien Chazelle. Actually got a local Murrow Award, actually, regional Murrow Award for that. And that's all coming back to me. So in the run up, so I was interviewing all of them. And then when all that controversy happened, then I interviewed Barry Jenkins, who actually won like a year later. And it was really funny how they were like, everyone pit these two movies against each other. And everyone pit Barry Jenkins versus Damien Chazelle against each other, and this indie social commentary, like LGBT movie versus like La La Land nostalgic musical. But in the end, they're like frozen in time together. And it's like both great movies, both great directors. And it's funny. It was just cool to hear how they like became friends through a controversy.
I love it.
So I don't know. That's one of a million stories.
I love it. Now you have gotten a teaching job recently. So you are teaching film now, right?
Yes. History of American film at Hood College. I was just there last night for week 2. It's been awesome teaching. So movies are like I've mentioned a lot of musicians and stuff, but movies is my bread and butter.
Your jam.
I love it. The reason I even got it at the movie critic gig at TOP is my party trick is I can name any Oscar winner ever. Say a year, long before we were even born. Say a year.
1951.
An American in Paris.
Oh my!
Beats A Place in the Sun and Streetcar Named Desire. I can do all of them. It's my
crazy.
It's not just the Washington Post said is a savant ability. It's not really that. Really, it's literally the 10,000 hours, just study. I love all old movies. So I was able to transition that into the TOP movie critic gig. And then I taught like 3 summers at American University where I got my master's, but it was like summer classes. But this Hood College is like my first time like a full semester teaching history of American film.
Cool.
Yeah, so we're going
kids,
decade by decade.
Party tricks could lead to, you never know.
Yeah, it's not just for old mother trivia, pub trivia.
That's unreal.
It's great. So in the first class they quizzed me. Like the icebreaker, I went around the room, like it's like 25, 30 students. It was high demand. But we went down the rows of the desk and I was asking their favorite movies, where they're from, just to break the ice. And then when it came time for me, I referenced this trick, and then they one student pulled up the laptop, and she was like, he's right. They were like this is crazy. This is disturbed. So, then they were like, do them all. I was like, seriously, it's going to take a while. So I did all, 97 so far in order. And then, they clap. And then it was like, see, your professor knows what he's talking about. Now I'm going to teach you about, Thomas Edison helping invent some of the movies.
That is an unreal memory. But then I do know, like guys with sports and scores and Super Bowls. And when you're passionate about it, it's not difficult, I guess. But that's pretty good.
Ashley, my wife, can do all of the NFL dynasties, the Super Bowl. Yeah, I taught her that a couple years ago. Yeah, she teaches me the music.
I'm gonna go.
She can rattle them off.
I'm gonna test. I'm gonna test her.
But yeah, it's fun. So like every class, I don't remember. I know how many exactly weeks it is, but every class I'm going to go chronologically, decade. So, 1910s. And then, last night was the 1920s, Charlie Chaplin and all the silent comedies, the transition to talkies. And then, next week will be the 30s and Wizard of Oz and all the way up to the present. So I'm going to take them through the whole journey, show lots of clips, break down the symbolism of what Hitchcock was going for in this movie. And I'm obsessed with it. I love it.
I love it. All right. Well, if you want to see more Jason Fraley, you can check him out on YouTube. You have a YouTube channel. You're also still on WTOP.com with a lot of your stuff too. Yep. And soon he's going to be on the Everything Frederick Live platform as well.
Breaking news.
We're working on that as well. Very soon we'll have some of his episodes, but certainly you can go right to the source. Really amazing to spend some time with you. And I really know things are going to really pick up speed for you. I really feel it.
Thank you so much. And the big news we have to close on that you mentioned at the top. We have a baby on the way.
You have a baby on the way.
Yeah.
You have a baby on the way. What's the theme of the nursery going to be?
So we're purposely
movie or music?
Oh, I got you. I thought you were going to go. We're purposely waiting to find out. Boy or girl. But that should be the gender reveal.
Yeah.
A movie or a music note.
I think so. I expect nothing less from you guys. But it's going to be a wonderful journey for you guys.
It's going to be great.
I can't wait.
It's a crazy story.
When we fell in love, we dreamed of starting a family.
After years of infertility, doctors discovered the cause, endometrial cancer.
Before a life-saving hysterectomy, we were given 3 weeks for 1 round of IVF at Johns Hopkins.
With prayers that we could retrieve Ashley's eggs and create one healthy embryo.
Good morning, baby. It is January 23rd, 2023.
We've gone through a lot to get to this point, and your mom has been so brave.
I can't wait to meet you, and I love you so much.
After a successful egg retrieval, hysterectomy, and recovery,
we searched for someone to help make our dream a reality.
Finding a surrogate online, also named Ashley, seemed too good to be true.
But we slid into the DMs with the biggest ask of all time.
Upon connecting, it was obvious she was the perfect person for us.
After a long road, we transferred our precious embryo.
Please join us
in welcoming
this October 31st,
just in time for Halloween,
our little boo. A miracle years in the making.
Amazing journey. But we're so happy that she is doing well.
That's most important. It's like parallel tracks,
It is a parallel track, but this is just a wonderful little cherry on top of all of it. So.
And the surrogate's name is also Ashley.
Ashley, that is crazy.
Couldn't have written it any better.
I know.
It's like
and then
a script.
The photos you guys did with her were beautiful. Yeah. And that's just a wonderful thing. So
thank you very much.
Ashley, right?
She's going to be Aunt Ashley. Yeah. Yes,
I think that's great. That's really great.
So we've learned so much more about surrogacy than I mean, that's probably a whole separate episode. But
we could definitely do that.
But
too.
it's not just for we've mentioned a lot of celebrities. It's not just for luxurious people. A lot of times it's people that can't have kids or cancer or.
All right, this is Jason Fraley. Check him out on YouTube. We thank you guys for hanging in.
Thanks.